Breaker Broke 23. Today in this video, I want to take a real quick look at the all-new for 2024 President George FCC AM/FM single sideband mobile CB radio. All right, folks, so I'm just going to kind of go over some of the basics with this radio. Like I said earlier, this is a 2024 model. This is brand new. I've been using this for a little over a week now, and I've been using it in a real-world situation and just plugged into a dummy load and using it on the tech bench to go through and check all modes and functions and see how they act. I have a longer version of this overview, and that is over on 390 Wagon Master, so I will leave a link to that down below. That's my totally CB related or mostly all CB content YouTube channel over there, so go check that one out. Anyway, let's get started. So at first glance, this radio looks pretty much identical to the old Uniden Bearcat 980. Now that radio has been out on the market for, oh my gosh, over like a dozen years now. And I'll tell you what, this is a totally different animal here. It may have some physical resemblance. For instance, the 6 control buttons down here on the bottom and the control buttons over here on the side. Actually, the 980 has a long one, about the same size as this NRC, like right here. We have volume, squelch. We have 2 modes of squelch. We have automatic squelch control or manual squelch. Over here we have our channel selector and multifunction button for menu access. The volume squelch and the multifunction button is nice and tight, very professional feeling, has a good feel to it versus the old 980, which just has a really sloppy, kind of a cheesy feel to it. Over here, we have a clarifier over here for single sideband operation. We have a talkback feature, so if you have an echo mic or something like that, you can push this button, go into talkback mode, and hear actually what you sound like. And we have the NRC on this radio, which is the noise reduction circuitry. The noise reduction circuitry runs in both transmit and receive. You can run those independently or together or off. And then, of course, we have the weather channel, which is in a lot of modern American CB radios. And we have Vox over here, which is voice operated relay, meaning that when you set this control on and get it to adjusted to what works for you in your environment, every time you speak, it will key the radio up, and when you stop speaking, it will unkey the radio. So it's almost like a hands-free type setup. Okay, over here, I took the little plug out. As you'll see on some folks' video, there's like this little green plug that goes right here. It's just a little filler, little piece of silicone filler. And what this is this is a USB outport. This does not output anything digital. It does not input anything digital or anything like that. No picture files, no audio or anything like that. However, this is a fast charge port for another device. So you could plug your cell phone into this, maybe a Bluetooth speaker or whatever. Maybe you have an older vehicle with no USB ports. I actually find this feature very nice to have, and it's a hot charge port. So maybe if you have a phone that takes a while to charge or some sort of aftermarket accessory that takes a while to charge, this will charge it in a pretty quick time frame, and it'll put a good, healthy, hot charge on it. I really like this. Let's see, what else has this? The other President radios are the Thomas, if I remember correctly, and the Walker. The new AM/FM Walker has this. There may be another one or two in there, but I'm just kind of drawing a blank at this moment. But anyway, it's a really good hot charge port. Over here we have the President / Uniden 6-pin mic plug right here. I like that versus the J45, like the telephone style plugs. This is a good heavy duty mic plug, so really nice. Anyway, I'll take some power measurement readings, but what you're going to see here is basically stock right out of the box. It has a healthy 4 watt with a little bit of forward RMS swing. The modulation out of the box comes at about 85-95%. The FM sounds good in it. Single sideband, has plenty of talk power. This radio does about about 5-6 watts RMS with easily 14, 16 plus watts of PEP power, which is how single sideband is rated in peak envelope power. So that's not a problem. Construction, it's constructed very well. It has a full aluminum constructed chassis here and plenty of heat sinking on the back. I'll show you that here, some other footage. But yeah, overall, the President George is fully feature packed. This would make a great mobile device. It'd make a heck of a base station. Now, a lot of you old school CBers are going to say, well, you know, this is all nice and dandy and everything, but I prefer a older rig. Better sound, better performance, better receiver. Well, and that's actually what I thought too, because I'm into old school CBs. Well, the President George FCC is actually better in some cases. This radio has a better receiver than some of my older vintage rigs that I hold near and dear to my heart. I'm just, you know, totally blown away with what this thing does. I think probably the biggest take from this radio is out of the box strength. Out of the box, this thing just comes in as a winner. Now, if you're new to the whole CB hobby, you will find that when you buy a new CB, they're kind of a dog out of the box, and then you have to have them, you know, in air quotes, tweaked and peaked, or what I call the truck stop tune. Well, not with this radio. You can order this radio off Amazon. You could order it from Walcott, any of your preferred retailers. Do not pay them to hop this radio up. It does not need to be done. That is literally just money thrown away. If anything, you're going to pay somebody $30 or something like that. Invest in maybe a better antenna or some coax for your particular installation, whether it's base or mobile. This radio does not actually need it. The only modification that I have found now in many, many hours of operation, if you want to make this radio sound any better, then maybe purchase the Digimic. This is the President Digimic, and this has the NRC option, the noise reduction circuitry, as you can see here on the top. And I'm sorry about that, my camera doesn't want to play nice. That is a nice addition to this radio. Now, it's not going to really make it louder or anything like that because it's not a power mic. However, the modulation or your voice that is transmitted through the CB will be clearer and crisper. The factory stock mic to the George is not a bad microphone at all. However, it does kind of have a slightly muffled sound, and if you want to clean that up, just get the Digimic and run that on it. I've tried various old school vintage power mics. These new radios have a limiting circuitry in the modulation section of these that, you know, really putting an old school power mic on is not going to be much of an advantage. So again, in my opinion, just get the Digimic, plug the Digimic into this, and be done with it. In fact, maybe instead of paying that miracle technician to do a truck stop tune on it, just take that money and put towards a Digimic. I think that would be money well spent. Anyway, this radio is an FCC model, and by that meaning this radio is not modifiable. At this time, early 2024, there are no modifications for the clarifier to be unlocked. However, this thing is rock solid steady. It is not off frequency, and I really honestly don't think this radio will ever go off frequency. Anyway, you won't be able to add extra channels. So if you're one of those folks that has to have an export radio that goes 100 channels each way or something like that, this radio may not be for you. However, if you want an FCC certified radio, 100% trouble-free, I don't really see any, I mean, with the construction, I don't really see any problems that are going to arise with this radio. Ton of features in here. About 90% of them are going to be used by the average CBer. If I had to go through all these features, this video would be well over an hour long, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to break this up into some shorter videos as well. So anyway, there you go. Tell me what you guys think of the George FCC. Please leave questions or comments down below. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I'd appreciate you doing so. As usual, thanks for watching and cheers.